Okay, really quick, just wanted to show a common issue, and this has been around for years. It's not a real groundbreaking uh, solution or anything like that. The false ABS activation on this style of Chevy truck. It's an '02 Suburban and many, many more, and it doesn't have to be Chevy either, although they're one of the most common. Ford used the same wheel bearings, and you see it on other makes and models. But the issue is where the ABS sensor is here. It's only got one bolt. The rust pushes the sensor up here, away from the tone wheel that spins at the wheel, and so you have an uneven signal from the front two wheels when you just barely, you're almost to a stop. You're in a parking lot or you're coming up to a stop sign. Right before you stop, the ABS kicks in because the ABS computer sees a difference in the front wheel speed sensors. Okay, so wheel A, it thinks is stopped, and wheel B is still moving. Okay, it thinks you're in a skid, so it activates the ABS. Your pedal goes, bah. My wife says it sounds like a fart, which I thought was pretty funny. But really the fix is just to clean up the rust and hopefully don't damage the sensor. Again, not a really uncommon thing. You see this a lot. It's been around for years. But I wanted to show you a really easy way to identify which side is causing your problems. Now, one thing you can do actually is you can press on the brake pedal, get it to happen while you're driving, let go of the steering wheel. Okay. Now, in some vehicles, the wheel will pull one direction or the other. All right, the direction that it pulls is your good wheel because that brake is being applied completely. The one that's pulsing the ABS, that's going to be the opposite side. That's the side you need to fix. So if you let go of your wheel when this happens, be safe, obviously. Do it in an empty parking lot. And the wheel pulls to the left, that means the right side needs to be adjusted. Now, it really should clean up both of them, but I always like to know what the problem is. So I'm going to show you another way that's actually really, really quick. You need a scope to do this. Pico's awesome for that. So I'll show you where I'm hooked up. So all I have is I'm back probed into the wheel speed sensor signal. Okay, this goes down. You can't see it, but it goes down to the wheel speed sensor. And the same thing over here. All right, back probed in on my other channel. All right, so that takes, I don't know, 10 seconds to do. Lock it in four-wheel drive so the axle is locked together, and we're just going to turn the scope on, and we have it on DC 1 volt. These sensors make their own voltage, so you don't even have to have the key on. All you need to do is rotate the wheel. So we're going to go over here and do this, and we're going to get a signal. Let's see if I can get this here as I rotate the wheel. We're going to get a signal from these sensors as I rotate the wheels, and as you can see, as I rotate one wheel, the other one rotates the opposite direction, but they are rotating at the same speed. So we're going to do this. We're going to get a nice capture on the screen here. And we're going to pause it. And we're going to take a look at these two. So blue is my right side, red is my left side. And as you can see, the amplitude of my right side is double, even more, than it is on my left side. So I know if I'm going into this, I really need to pay attention to my left side because that sensor is farther away from the tone wheel, and so the magnetic field strength changes, so the amplitude of the voltage output changes. And that's what the ABS computer is seeing. So when I'm coming to a stop, it thinks that the right side tire is still moving at a normal pace, but it thinks that the left side tire has come almost to a complete stop. There's a voltage threshold where it's going to say, okay, this wheel's not moving anymore, or just enough of a difference in speed where it's like we're in some sort of skid. The driver's applied the brakes, but they are not slowing down evenly. Maybe the tire's slipping on some snow or some water. Let's apply the ABS brakes, or the ABS, pulsations, pulse that caliper to that wheel, and that's when you get the, as my wife calls it, the fart from the brake pedal. So I'm going to fix this, and then I will capture the after. What I'm going to try to do, since this is my truck, normally at customers I'd do both sides, but it's my truck, So I'm just going to clean up the left side, and then we're going to revisit this and see if they match up. Now, what could happen is I clean up the left side and the amplitude's even more than the right side, because this is a rusty old truck, and I wouldn't be surprised if both sides were pushed up and away, and you know, I might create another problem, but we're going to see what happens after I clean up just the one side. Alright, so got everything apart here. Takes about 10 minutes to do this, just to yank the rotor off and get down to the sensor. So here's our sensor, and the reason this happens is they only have one bolt holding these on. So the rust builds up under here and actually pushes this sensor up away out of its bore. So if we look down here, you can see all of the rust around. Get my light in the right spot there. Of course, wants to focus on the wrong part. All that rust builds up on the surface there, so we gotta clean that up and clean that up so that the sensor, see if we can see the tone wheel inside there. Down in there you can see that tone wheel. It's just metal teeth that move past this sensor, create a magnetic field, or change a magnetic field, which induces voltage into a coil wire. It's a really, really simple sensor, but that little bit of distance, that little bit of rust pushing this guy away is what caused our weak amplitude and what confuses the computer. So we're going to clean that up, reassemble, and we'll see what we get. The sensor's all cleaned up, and we're going to rotate the front wheels now, and of course, you know, like I said, this is what I would do for a customer. I would fix both sides. Well, this is why. So remember, our red is our left side that we just cleaned up, and our blue is our right side, which before had much more amplitude. But now, the tables have turned. Our left side now has bigger amplitude. So if I were to go drive this right now, we would have ABS activation, but because of the other wheel, again, because we're going to see different speeds of that computer. So let's clean up the right side as well, make these things even, and then we should be good to go. I'll get you a final once we do that.